The purpose of your life is to compost who you used to be. What you grow is almost secondary. It comes next. It is helpful to have a clear idea of what you would like to create. However, if you are willing to allow yourself to disintegrate into the earth, whatever you create, however improper it may be for your future, will not continue. It also can be returned to the earth. The moment that you choose to let go at the depths that is necessary to actually let go, you enable yourself to become something new, because the earth transforms it all. This begins with your adventure. This begins with the advent of your life here. You are not supposed to know it all. Indeed, it is often preferable that you not know what comes next. However, when the time comes for you to begin to become aware of what comes next, you must also have some relationship to what came before. This can be extremely difficult if you are not able to let go of your identification with what came before. As you translate this knowledge into your heart, you can tune in differently to what is happening, both to you and to the world. As you allow yourself to be led into these steps, you begin to see in front and behind at once. Understand, yet again, that your capacity to sense reality is shaped through the human form. This is purposeful. If it wasn't, it wouldn't work. By letting go of your primary relationship with the sensations that you have in other forms and identifying primarily with your sensations in this form, you accept the opportunity to embody anew. Why forget? Why forget it all? Not only have you forgotten it all, but you've forgotten why you wanted to forget it all. It is almost impossible to change certain choices from within the form that you made those choices in. It is necessary to understand that this applies both to your incarnation as a spirit on the earth and to your incarnations as a human within your incarnation on the earth. The tree of the life that you live here bears fruit in many seasons. Not only do you need to accept the death of season to season, but you need to accept the majesty, the way in which you lead yourself between each lifetime. The world has allowed a certain range of remembering. This has been purposeful. Up until this time, vast numbers of people who represent a small portion of the population have remembered some of what reality is. This is a time of separation and uniting. At the same time, you are returning to an understanding of universal life. You will become aware of the vast numbers of beings who are leaving. This is not primarily a function of dying to their human form. It is a function of making choices through the process of focusing attention that will contribute strongly to the choices that each spirit makes once they die. The moment of death in human or animal form is not the primary measure of this process. The primary measure is where the attention has been focused. Please understand that this is a story that was designed for you. Stories of this magnitude are not specific. They create great ranges of opportunities to make your own mark, to try and to explore and to create within the context of a story that was given to you. Some aspects of this story are non-negotiable. Many aspects of this story are yet to be written. This is the beauty of the process, and it is more beautiful when you do not specifically understand what is and what is not up to you yet. The reason so many prominent personas have been referred to as stars is that in most cases, they are actually following the energy of different stars. This is purposeful. Though their conscious form may not understand it, their spiritual higher selves does. They are channeling the energy of light, connecting them to stellar forces that allow people to make choices with them that will eventually lead in those directions. When you die, you are given the opportunity to scrutinize the course of your life and the ways you have chosen to focus your attention. This offers you the opportunity to recognize that you have gravitated towards certain forces unaware of the consequences of those choices. What this means is that you like them, you get along, you fit, you appreciate the way in which they deal with the feelings and the opportunities of this life. And then, when you die, you get to recognize that that way of being is associated with different stellar bodies, and you may go there. In some cases, these are planets around this sun. In many cases, these are other stars. And there are various caravans of spirit that travel between stars that you may be a part of. In most cases, you leave in groups that you arrived in. This is eternal. You have a family that is beyond what you have known of as family, and rediscovering these relationships is a joy beyond all joys that you have known within this life. That is eternal. It is joyful. It is necessary to separate, to forget, to explore, and to reunite. Not only does this create the opportunity to change, it creates the opportunity to learn to love each other in new ways. The process of this discovery is exquisite. You get to unveil the many ways in which you have already been thinking with people that you have loved over the course of many lifetimes. In many cases, this involves the core members of your family, the core members of your human family in this lifetime. However, people often incarnate with individuals from other soul groups, specifically in order to change, to learn, to cross, to experience deep awareness of other ways of being that then inform your soul group when you make the choices of where to go next. As you become aware of this process, you can become aware of the exquisite grief of the departures. Beings are leaving with a magnitude of force that defies everything you have known. The momentum of these transformations tears apart your human lives in a way that can be devastating, and coming to terms with it necessitates that you eventually understand why these changes are happening. Some of you may choose to refuse to learn until later, and that is okay. Please resist the urge to think that you must communicate your new knowledge to everyone you know on a physical plane, because many beings want to allow themselves to be led by others in this time. Indeed, it is normal for soul groups to essentially nominate individuals to become more aware, share their knowledge on a soul plane, and allow different choices to be made without awakening everyone at once. There is no hierarchy of importance to these choices that may make sense to you, because in many cases, it is just as difficult to remain grounded and focused, to be the kind of person who is present on the earth while someone else that you love lets go, disintegrates, releases into the earth, and becomes aware of what forces are actually changing. This process of awakening can be deeply damaging to the emotional and physical lives of the people who go through it. If everyone were to go through it at the same time, it would not work. I offer you this to invite your respect for everyone that you come across in this path. Resist the urge to judge who people are. It is not a moral obligation. It is a way of recognizing the deep spiritual bonds that enable these changes to occur. People who are impaired cognitively on a level that is called sickness or disability are often grounding energies that enable the people around them to thrive in beautiful ways during this life. The humility that it is necessary for you to maintain this awareness is a gift that begins the moment you embody it. And now, there has been enough work done to ground the presence of an awareness that can handle these changes. And as that happens, key elements of the Earth story awaken.